get in my way. Hi, everybody. So we're going to get started in a minute. I just felt like I want to talk about this. You know, it's like my oracles stay coming true, y'all. Stay coming true. There's some low vibe feminine energy out here, y'all. Okay, and it's going on in the black community real bad right now. I personally am going to be avoiding the black community as much as possible. And it's not about me having self-hate or cooning. It's about there's a specific thing that goes on in the black community and it's like totally against my destiny and it's not healthy for my mental health. In the black community, people glamorize gossiping and bearing false witness. They walk the streets pretending like they're not doing it. Meanwhile, intuitively, I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up that it's going on. And it's spreading. It's actually pretty. It's the bearing false witness has become a whole nother type of epidemic. And it's rampant in the black communities online and offline. And it's middle-aged generation and a younger generation, the millenniums and Generation X is and up to like 60-year-olds in the black community. It's rampant with bearing false witness. It's so out of hand, y'all, that it's so toxic that it's almost like you're under a direct physical attack being around it. It's just that strong now. Okay? Watching from windows to bear false witness, recruiting other people to bear false witness, purposely remembering people to bear false witness on them again, listening to people bear false witness and then bearing false witness because somebody else did. It's so out of control. Do y'all know how many black people have been hurt because of false witness? You know how many fights have happened in the ghettos? And now it's happening energetically and behind locked doors because of all the bearing false witness. Lies, character assassinating, even bearing false witness on somebody all because of their age and their gender. All because they look a certain age. People in the black community is bearing false witness. It's just wow that this is going on. That people are bearing false witness because some black woman looks more masculine than them in their eyes. Or somebody looks like they might be a baby boomer, so they deserve bearing false witness on them. It's like almost like the black community is addicted to looking for ways to bear false witness and to gossip and to try to justify it. And as a spiritual being, I don't want that energy around me. Because bearing false witness and negatively gossiping, even bearing false witness in your mind has a certain vibration to it. Witness in their mind that they are doing witchcraft on that person. They are doing witchcraft. And I am tired of being around low vibrational women in the black community doing bearing false witness on me in their mind and thinking I can't sense it. Thinking I cannot sense it. And it's wow. When you bear false witness on people in your mind, it affects the way you act. It affects your behavior. It affects the way your energy flows to them. It affects the communication process. And it's a way of being narcissistic and being able to deny it since it wasn't said out loud. It's a way of being able to say, oh, you're just paranoid. How do you know what I was thinking? Well, I know because the way your frequency touched my frequency. I know that you were thinking something negative about me. I may not know what it was, but I can sense that you were thinking negative about me, which is bearing false witness. And this is so rampant and normalized in the black community that you can't even spend your money in black businesses in peace. You have to be around a bear false witness energy. If they ain't bearing false witness on you, then you're standing around hearing it. You go into the black community shops to buy some hair stuff, and what do you hear? People standing around bearing false witness. Cashiers is bearing false witness with other cashiers. Men are bearing false witness with the women who are dating them. And I'm just keeping it real. Men be influenced to bear false witness. A lot of them don't be in our energy until women keep teaching them how to be. Low vibrational women. Yeah, I'm calling it what it is. People love to think that all black women are just attacking black men. No, I call it what it is. There's a lot of black women in the black communities that is tempting man to bear false witness, passing on that bad behavior. Sitting in their houses, in their kitchen, bearing false witness around men, causing family problems. Business, I can sense that their energy is about just counting the money and saying, have a good day, da-da. But I got to get stank energy when I go to the black communities. Acting entitled to my money. The way we act entitled to each other's money in the black community, regardless of all the bear false witness energy, is so narcissistic. And you know, sometimes I have conversations like this because, and someone said, well, how can you speak about black issues and you got mixed people and white people in your family? I said, because I am classified as black. I grew up in a black community. I'm classified. It doesn't matter what I say I am. Society is saying I am it. So I'm going through the black experience. Because that's what society says I am. And I'm going to talk about this sometime. I'm tired of being exposed to one of the most trifling, foulest, abominable sins on earth. It is the sin that God, if we recall, it's the sin that God Jesus killed. Now let that sink in the minds of Christians, who want to glamorize bearing false witness and acting like it's not a big deal because it's not on hand stealing. Bearing false witness is a way of stealing and saying, ha ha, you didn't see me steal. It's the way of keeping someone from even getting the love and attention, making them block themselves. Bearing false witness warps and distorts other people's frequency, and then they cause their own delays, but yet you were a part of the situation. You were a part of instigating the delay. Let me say that again. Bearing false witness, when someone's in a positive energy, is trying to warp and distort their frequency. It's trying to pull them out of positive energy so they can focus on the bearing false witness, and then they can have a delay with what they were going to manifest through their positive energy. It's misdirection being going on. It is a passive aggressive way to be a dark witch and get away with it because someone don't have the evidence that you did bear false witness. They can only say that they sensed it or they heard that you did. It's manipulative. It's a way to manipulative talk to attack somebody. And keep this in mind. I'm talking to all the Christians since it's so abundant. Christianity is abundant in the black community. Keep in mind that that's how you lost that's how the Messiah was killed. People was bearing false witness on him. People were saying that he wasn't and all this type of stuff. And those words ignited a fire, a deadly fire. And people became passionate and started to believe in the bear false witness information. And then that's why they did what they did to him. And let's not forget that if we're going to get Christian on today, since the air energy is abundant, let's not forget that he was sitting beside, that if your Christianity, Jesus saint was sitting beside people or somebody who was bearing false witness on him. He said, you will betray me. He told the guy. He knew the guy was going to bear false witness, was going to sit up there and say something different about him and turn against him. Yet, what gets me is Christianity, Christian people know this in the story, but they're still doing it. That should be the last thing you do, knowing that it got your Messiah put on the cross. Deep conversation. That should be the sin you should say, I'm definitely not doing. I'm definitely not doing. Because that got a lot of saints falsely accused of being demonic. Do you know how many people that was murdered during the Salem witch trials because of bearing false witness? People saying, oh, they're witches. All the lies and stuff that was told on those people. Gossiping and stuff. You know how many blacks were lynched because of the gossiping and the bearing false witness? The lies that was told on them. And I'm trying to understand why black people in the black community is so comfortable with doing it. I'm trying to understand it. Why? Don't be comfortable with doing that. If you're black, you should never be comfortable with bearing false witness. Bearing false witness is for self-gain. It's selfish. It's vain. It's a way of being vain and flying undercover. Because you didn't use the word I. Because you didn't say what you wanted from them. You just basically character assassinated in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just telling their business. Oh, I'm just telling what I heard. Meanwhile, it's serving you. And someone is not there to defend themselves. It's beyond dirty fighting. It's fighting underground while someone is walking around and not knowing that they're being hit. It's sneaky, it's cruel, and it's trifling and disgusting. And I came on this video to say all of that to anybody who's going to bear false witness today. They're in low vibration of their air energy. They're low brow, broken down hearing, and want to sit up there and think negative and think that God can't hear their thoughts. Sitting up there, faking confidence. You're weak and you're insecure and you're a beat down woman. You're battered and you're bruised and you're trifling if you're sitting around bearing false witness. I am appalled and offended that there is feminine energy out here bearing false witness right now. I can't believe it. It's like, wow, did they not get the download I got this morning about sending out positive thoughts when you're around people? Other females. These women right now is acting real thirsty. The feminine energy is acting thirsty for the male energy that is sitting up there bearing false witness on other women. I'll come out as the winner because I'll bear false witness on any woman that might look like competition when there's emperors coming through. If that emperor want you, then he's sub by the devil, because that means he cannot sense that you bear false witness. A high vibrational male can sense when a woman is that type of woman. I wonder how so many women are married and they're hardcore bear false witness. I'm like, they caught them men when they was low vibe. Because why the heck did those men? That's the emperor. The emperor outranks the empress. Okay, he's the highest rank as far as knowing when some stuff is out of order. and the fact that there's a lot of black women married to men who's like, I didn't know that she was this gossiping old crow or buzzer, because they were caught in low vibrational time. I think any man that's dealing with a woman who is glamorizing bearing false witness, they like to sit around, and you know these are women who just go to work and love to do man work. love to do man work. They love it. They think they powerful doing man work. And then go home and sit in their house all the time and talk about people. Publicly talking about their coworkers. Publicly talking about people that work under them. You know those women managers, especially the black managers, because they think they pleasing the slave master, sitting around talking about every black that work under them. I'm so tired of seeing it. Even though I'm not going through it, because I'm done being in that environment, I'm tired of going in the stores and seeing it as a customer. I don't even want to see it as a customer no more. And thinking, oh, I'm a manager, so I'm protected. But you're not protected by God when you're bearing false witness. You're not. The Creator, every single sin is wrapped up in bearing false witness. It's all of them is connected to that sin. Because when people do other sins, they tend to do bear false witness too. When people be greedy, they normally do bear false witness. When people steal, they're often bearing false witness. Oh, this person's nothing. They're beneath me. I'll take whatever I want. See, that's bearing false witness. When people do adultery and cheat, they're bearing false witness. All the 10 Commandments have always include someone bearing false witness. Which that I shall not covet thy own neighbor. It'd be bearing false witness in that too. I swear to goodness, if people will just stop bearing false witness, it might not lead, most likely it won't even lead to the other sins. But people just keep on doing this gossiping. Now, I know that some people say, I don't, this ain't what I came for. This should be what you came for. Because all that gossiping around you, in the stores, on the buses, all of whatever, all this online just coming at you, that's dumpster energy. That's still messing with your metaphysical space. Like, I want black people to let each other have self-care more in peace. Like, why is that such a problem? Jealousy is that deep? Envy is that deep? Is that deep that we can't go get some food without one of us giving dirty looks, standing in the way, don't want to say excuse me, acting like the other black person should always move, sitting up there acting like, oh, you don't look good enough to speak to. All this, I'm picking this up in the air all around me. Bearing false witness is making black people block their abundance because they're too busy judging each other, saying, ooh, you're this, ooh, you're that, and then I'm not talking to you, and all this other stuff. Y'all, I'm so tired of it, it's not even funny. At least with the white people, they mistreat me according to what I brought to the table. They mistreat me at times. I'm not saying all white people, but at least with some white people, they mistreat me because they're jealous of my gifts and my talents and all of that. But come on now. Now when I first show up, they ain't like folks witness right from the door. Unless they some insane Karen out here. But that doesn't even happen too often. Not when their job is on the line. Not when they're trying to make money in their businesses. They're not in that energy. They're not in that energy. Now if my talent is a threat to their talent, then they might be like, I don't like you. But one thing I don't sense is that they're bearing false witness. I don't hear them say something about, I don't feel like they're judging my hair or they're judging my looks or they're whatever. I don't get none of that. Maybe it's because they're really celebrated and they're the dominant power in America. But hey, if they are, then they should be really the main one. It's like, I'll bear false witness if I want to. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They are focusing on, are you winning and I'm winning? Or you competing against me financially? That's when they'll come and be like, okay, I will snitch on you. But it's never bear false witness, lies and false judgments and stuff like that. They'll tell an employer that you took a longer break or that you got a discount when you wasn't. It'll be the truth. It'll be the truth. But when in the black community, it's like, I don't even care if it's true. I could bear false witness if I want to. It's toxic. It's straight up toxic. I'm calling it what it is. My problem in the black community, if you're gonna say something about somebody, say the truth. Say the truth. Like, don't sit up there doing bare false witness with the lies. Stuff that's not true. Stuff that you can't prove. Stuff that you're assuming. I don't want to hear all that. That's that low vibration Christian behavior. Okay? But I know some Catholics do it too. Some Catholics do it too. It'd be like Generation X Catholics do it. It's like, come on now, give it a break. We know you was in our energy in the 90s, but you're still in it. But you're still in it. There was a whole lot of bearing false witness in the 90s. It's like, why is middle-aged people still in that energy? Like, why? Y'all, it's like crazy. Whew. This said, today was Speak Your Truth Day. The hearing energy. Let your truth be heard. Well, my truth is being heard. I'm tired of being exposed to feminine energy bearing false witness. It's been on every job I've ever worked. Every single job I ever worked. The men are sitting there. I had one man sit beside me and say, I'm ready to quit because I'm tired of certain people in here trying to get me to bear false witness. I don't want to bear false witness. I said, it's going on here too. I looked at the dude. I looked at Charles. I said, wow, Charles. And he looked over. I said, okay, it's the women because that's all women over here. Okay. They're trying to get him to join in. And he doesn't want to join in. This is why, y'all, I don't have women friends. It's like, that's the limelight of the relationship. Let's see who we can talk about. I don't want to talk about people. I want to talk about getting my money. I want to talk about doing business. I want to talk about saving our kids' lives. I want to talk about keeping this weight down. I want to talk about getting back to natural born self-love. I want to talk about saving money. I want to talk about home care, investments. I don't want to talk about what so-and-so did in so-and-so's family, and who so-and-so sleeping with, and what someone's house looked like, and who was fighting with who. I don't give a damn. Like, we're still worried about that, knowing that this country is telling us all to stick it, either get rich tomorrow or shove your energy up your butt. Knowing the country is telling us this. Knowing this, and we're still in bearing false witness, it's crazy. There's way more bigger important things for black people to talk about than each other's losses and looks and lovers and stuff. And you know what? I hate when black people say in the black community, oh, white people are smarter because they have more resources. No, they don't. That's not why. They're just not wasting their time with this bearing false witness. Just go look on YouTube. They don't have a big community bearing false witness. We do. We do. We have O'Shea. We have KS. We have all the other Antoine. All these men and women, whatever the one woman, bearing false witness on black big women are modern and old middle-aged women hit the wall, and old black men ain't nothing but they got worms. It's always something. It's like, shut up. Pick a different genre on your table, on your channel, and in your table too, in your kitchen. Pick a different genre. They love to say my genre is about society. No, your genre is about bearing false witness, glorifying it. I have a hard time even finding any channels on YouTube in the black community that's actually positive for black people. And if they do, you got to hear them suddenly switch to toxic masculinity talk. It's like, here we go, bear false witness again. Here we go. Here we go. It got to come out. It got to come out in the video. Or women. Black men or husbands, they don't care about us. They ain't about me. I just like, shut up. Everybody needs to be thinking about money and their destiny. Just think about that for the next 10 years. You're paying $4 or $5 for some eggs. How can you know that you're paying that and you still want to waste your precious time bearing false witness? Y'all, I'm dead serious. I'm on Substack. There's a lot of white people on Substack, and there's young black people. It's not too many. I don't see too many older black people on Substack. You know why? Because they can't bear false witness on Substack. Nobody wants to hear bad gossiping and bearing false witness on Substack. No one wants to hear that. So that's why they don't come there. All in my news feed, I see I see non-black people, and I see young black people. That's what I see on Substack. That's what keeps getting recommended to me. Why? Because on there, it's the people who don't want to do bearing false witness. They say, if I'm a bearing false witness, I'm going to do it in therapy. I'm going to do it in therapy. I'm going to do it in my diary. I'm going to do it in my prayers before bed and ask God if I was right for doing it. That's what I'm going to do. This is why I went over to Substack. But the devil said, oh, you're trying to get away from this bearing false witness? Well, I'm going to make you go through it in the store. I had to go through it in the store. Okay? And then there's a such thing as suggested bearing false witness, where someone will imply something negative about you, but don't directly say it, so they can always deny it. And this is what goes on in the black community as well. For example, I was in the store today. It said, squeeze the ball if you need customer service. I squeezed the ball just, 2 times because the store is real big. This woman walks up. This is the same woman who was bearing false witness the last time I was in here. Bearing false witness about her coworkers, talking about people. Not good either. Glamorizing, telling everybody in there that she fired, that everybody was fired. Like that's something to publicize. So she said, oh, you just had to squeeze the ball 2 times. Okay, suggesting like I was trying to bully and control. I said, ma'am, this store is big. You got all the boxes. The aisles are so crammed up. I didn't even know if you could hear me because you were way back there. She said, I can hear you with an attitude. She had an attitude because she knew that I picked up on her implication of her bearing false witness on the type of person that I am. That I was putting demands on her. She was trying to imply that. And then, when I went stone cold on her after that, she tried to have her attitude changed like, oh, you have the nerve to put boundaries with your energy. So then when I went to leave, she said, have a good day. In a nasty way, I said, just like that, with my head turned and hang, That's what I had to do. And it's like, this is the same middle-aged woman who keep bringing out energy to me. And it's every time there's an emperor around, every time she does this. But let me tell you, this is in every black store I go to. I swear to goodness, it's in every single one. I'm not the only black woman going through it. My mama said she was tired of it. She refused to shop in black communities anymore. Tired of it. My older sister, she said, I don't do them. Tired of it. I'm tired of the attitude. The attitude is a projection of their bearing false witness in their mind. And I'm tired of going through it. And so is my siblings. So we all started driving to mall areas away from the black community. But I call myself putting a little bit back in the black community sometime. And what happened is at the sacrifice of my peace. So when people say, oh, support black communities, at the sacrifice of our peace, at the risk of having false implications on us, of dealing with snarky women with nasty attitudes, like, we got to deal with that? Who wants to deal with that and spending our money? I mean, I literally told the lady in a nice way. I said, ma'am, you was way back there. This store is deep. And there was so much stuff in the aisles in the way. I didn't think you can hear this little squeezy ball. And she was like, I can hear you. I said, woo, child. Woo. And here's what it is. In the black community, some of the managers think they own the store. You're a manager. You don't own the store. If you think you own the store with the master, then you in-house black person energy, like Malcolm X said. If you think that you're so privileged because you're a manager in the store, then you can handpick over black customers who you will respect and be kind to. Be kind to. Then you're a house black working in that store. I'm not going to say the N word, but we all know what I'm talking about. I say this, if you can't be kind to every black walking the street that don't know you, then just get out the black community and stay home. Just get out. Like, move to the white community where you belong. Where you belong. That's how I feel. If there's any black people who love to bear false witness and love to do implied false witness behavior. If you tend to do that at random, even in your raggedy mind, towards any black person and every black person you think you can who walk up, then please get out the black community and take your butt to the Karens. Because I'm sure you won't do it to them. Y'all call it what it is. I'm tired of us acting entitled to each other's money so bad that it's like it's optional to be kind. No, it's not optional to be kind. Because every time I spend money in a black business in a store where there's black people working at, I'm funding their salary. I'm putting money into the business that pays their salary. And then what cracks me up is them is the same people, the bear false witness people, that will swear up and down that they're about black power. See how it is a lot of the black women. I'm helping all these black men out. Black power. Sit your butt down because you're shading black women all while helping all black men. I feel sorry for those black men. I feel sorry for them if they have a daughter by you. You're going to be a toxic mama. Straight up. Black men should not be having babies by women who bear false witness. If you have a daughter by her, what do you think she's going to be doing? She's going to be teaching her daughter to be trifling, to have a trifling attitude. I mean, the first thing, I think if a man is running a household, he should be saying, I don't want nobody talking about nobody around here. Now, no hate and no negativity. If you don't got nothing nice to say about the black community, shut up and keep it to yourself and don't project no attitude either. And stay out the black community today. If you can't be kind around other black people, shut your mouth and go pray. Go pray. Go pray. People can say a lot of stuff about me on this channel, but y'all see how passionate I am about trying to solve the toxicity in the black community. And people love to say, oh, that's not a race thing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because I lived in white communities. I lived in white communities, and I did not have to be subjected to that. The white people were going to their car, minding their business. They wasn't coming towards me to project their bearing false witness. They might not didn't speak to me, and that's fine. At least they knew to keep their mouth shut. At least they knew to stay away from me. At least they knew that if I wasn't giving them no money, to stay away from me if they don't like me. But when I'm giving money to somebody, I shouldn't have to put up with it. And this is why black people be fighting in the street. They paying people for stuff and then got to deal with the disrespect. My black friend, he washes cars in the street. He sits up there and does all the work on their cars. And what does he get? Disrespected by the people. They say whatever they want to him. And I said, that's messed up because you're providing a service. They're bearing false witness on you. They're saying, ooh, you don't look that good, and they're asking if you broke, that you need to get more money, you don't got as much money as them, all that type of stuff. All while you're providing a service for them. This is exactly why some black people say I'm starting my business near the white community on the border. This is why. Black people say there's coons. Well, there's coons being created. Some of them weren't coons to start. They slipped into coon shit from all the disrespect. I don't want to be disrespected and I'm spending my hard-earned money on something that's overpriced, but I need. I don't want to be disrespected when I'm doing that. That's why I stopped going to some Christmas parties in my family. Disrespecting me while opening my expensive gifts. Finding out they talking behind my back and all that. And it's like, wow. But they sure enough they accepted my $100 gift, didn't they? I'm done with it. I have aunts and uncles who keep on bearing false witness on me and my sisters. Keep on doing it. Turning other family members against us. Lying and saying that we don't know how to get along with other people. That's a lie. When they're the ones insulting us, they're the ones disrespecting us. Projecting. They're projecting and they're bearing false witness with relatives living in different states. I got relatives in different states that don't even like me, that haven't even seen me since I was a baby. Yeah, as soon as they come in for funerals, they got an attitude like I did something to them. Because of bearing false witness. I have aunties and cousins that won't stop bearing false witness. Me and my sisters cut off our entire family over it. We're fed up and we're done. We won't even go back to the black community that we grew up in because we're sick and tired of the negative gossip. We all want to complain about financial trauma, physical trauma, but what about the mental health trauma of suffering from bearing false witness? What about the impact of that? People act like that's not abuse. People act like that's not violence. That's violence, y'all. Every time you bear false witness on somebody, you was violent, whether you think you were or not. It's spiritual violence. Look at the many people who unalived themselves from people sitting on Facebook bearing false witness on them. The one girl, she unalived herself, jumped off a bridge because people would not stop sitting on coming to her Facebook to bear false witness on her. If words don't have power, then why the heck is the Bible changing and controlling so many people's lives when the Bible is just words? There's no pictures, unless people painted them in the original scriptures, there was no picture. It was just words. Now, we know the power of the written word. We know the power of words in the Bible. So why are we sitting up here, and I'm saying we as a human race now, not just black people, why are we sitting here thinking that our words and bearing false witness don't have no power? I feel like this. You want to bear false witness, write a poem, write a novel, put it in a novel. Write your first best-selling novel with all your false witness and your gossip. I bet you it'll sell like hotcakes. Like the one guy who wrote the book, A Million Little Pieces. His book was basically false witness, gossip, and telling everything he'd been through with his family and stuff. It was all lies. But he said it was true and everybody believed it. Why? Because people love to listen to gossip. People will pay to hear it. It's like you're paying to hear gossip. Wow. People will literally bring gifts to other people's house just to be able to sit at their table and gossip. That's what they came to do. They did not come. They did not come to do no arts and craft. They did not come to be of a good service in the community. A lot of people want to hook up with people at lunch to talk about other people. And then they get jealous of people like me and say, well, how are you getting these downloads? How are you so gifted in what you're doing? Because I'm not sitting around with that in my mind. I'm just not. I'm not looking at people and having fleeting thoughts like, ooh, and all that. I don't got time for none of that. One of them days, I knew the air energy. I knew it. Because the hearing came out and my oracle said things are going to go well in society and then it's going to go downhill. And it says, speak your truth. I said, there it is. Okay. I enter in peace and somebody want to ruin it. I literally said that in the morning video. I got intuitively, watch out for disrespectful distractions. And that's what happened. It was the female energy. My goodness. I don't know what this need is for black women in black communities. So many want to prove they're strong by how comfortable they can talk snarky and nasty to any random black person. Like, that's not proving that you're strong. Oh, I'm going to test the strength. I'm going to test your strength versus my strength by something shady I'm going to say or smart mouth I'm going to say because I want to prove that I'm strong. You know what it is? A lot of black people in the black community, they get jealous of you and they want to throw you out. They want to push you out. Like we back in Madam C.J. Walker day. Like they the slave master of the community. Like they some sort of racist KKK government official. They want to, oh, I want to kick you out. I want to find a way to keep you from coming to the store because it's abundant. Because I'm jealous of your looks versus mine. I'm jealous of your genetics versus mine. So I want to try to get you to react to my snarkiness so I can call the manager, the head manager, the one that's above me, this white, and get you put out the store so you can never come back. But you don't react to it. So now I'm triggered that you didn't give me that opportunity to do that to you. So now I want to act like I don't even want to say goodbye to you. I'm gonna try to carry on this toxic energy further to see if you'll finally react. That's what happened to me today, and that's what I picked up intuitively. Before I left that store, I said, you're the same lady that was in here last time I walked by. Because the last time I was in here, she saw me walk up to the counter, and she kept walking to the back of the store. She was passively trying to tell me, I'm not going to come help you until I'm ready to. And then when she came up there, she had this big old manly attitude, hating on different people in the store, saying all the co-workers, all the workers got fired. I came here and I'm cleaning up and all this other stuff. I said, okay, she want to flex her power in front of my face for the second time. Even though my money is giving her money on her check. She ain't giving me, what I'm getting in the store, I could get elsewhere. My money is paying her. Y'all, it was crazy. This is why you see a lot of black women, a lot of quiet, spiritual black women walking alone. Walking alone. They don't want to put up with it. They walk through the black community alone, or they hop in their cars and go on a walking trail that's outside the black community because they don't want to deal with it. It's sad because the black women who try to spread peace and softness and kindness and be nice around other black people and just try to feed positive energy, we get pushed so far that then when we finally get upset, people think that we are hard as the toxic woman. People will say, well, you're just as hard. No, I'm not as hard. I'm actually sick and tired of the black community. That's what it is. Because I'm not taking my stuff out on anybody that come in here. I'm not disrespecting random blacks. But I am walking around with an attitude on my face in the black community because that's exactly how it's been treating me for years. is disrespectful. Stop complaining about the white man when you can't even be nice to each other in your broke community. Y'all, I mean, I have white people in my family. I don't hear about that false witness. I don't hear them talking about Uncle Joe. I don't hear them talking about um, Auntie Anna. I don't hear them saying none of that. Like, as a matter of fact, they may suggest that they don't get along with somebody. They may be like, oh, Auntie coming. But they won't go, yeah, da, da, da. They don't get into all that. And I'm sick and tired of black people using any old black person as their unpaid therapist and doing it in a way where they're bearing false witness. This like telling me about their family problems, but in a way where it sounds like they're talking bad about people, knowing they're not here to defend themselves. I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm not in your family. So why am I hearing this bearing false witness? Why don't you bear false witness within your own family? Why don't you go to your sister and bear false witness with her about your auntie? Why are you bearing false witness about your auntie to some random black person walking the street? I don't want to hear it. Y'all, I'm just keeping it real. Why? Because black people will do everything to avoid therapy. I'll just avoid therapy and I'll just walk around bearing false witness. I'll just talk about my family and my auntie and everybody because I don't believe in therapy. Well, it seems like the more you bear false witness, the more you need therapy. You're just making it worse. Woo! And of course, I'm going to have some people say, well, this is generalizing. As I said, I have aunties and relatives who are white, who are not black. I have never, ever been in their white community and this was going on. If anything, they'll say something good, like, yeah, did you see someone's roses? Or did you see the property looks nice or whatever? You know, or they'll just be like, if they don't do you, they'll literally just walk away from you and just keep their distance. But they're not going to sit around to project false witness energy. Like, what? Why? When you could just get the hell away from it. And then what gets me is when there's some black people who say, shit, Coon talking about that. Those are black people who are in the bearing false witness crowd, and they know they are. They have been accepted. They have been recruited. They have been approved for the black community toxic crowd. And they are not one of the victims of the bearing false witness. So that's why they're glamorizing being in the black community. And they don't ever go to the white community or hang out there to know the difference. No, that they are just not in that energy like we are in that energy. As a matter of fact, if they really feel like you're doing something bad, they'll just call the cops on you. They're not going to walk around the neighborhood telling everybody that you are a drug dealer, this and all type of stuff. If they think you're doing drugs in your house, they'll just say 911. That's what they'll do. They're not going to spend weeks sabotaging your reputation through the whole neighborhood before they call 911. White people do not do that, okay? Black people do that. It's like I have to character assassinate you before I get the mayor to kick you out. It's like, why do you have to go that far? Why do you have to be extra toxic towards another black person? Why can't you just be basic toxic if you're going to be toxic? Y'all. It's just wild, y'all. It's wild. Oh my goodness, I really pray. It's a shame that we still got these issues in the black community, knowing what's going on. And you know what's sad? Is that a lot of black women in the black community They really think that it's like the men doing them like that. Oh, the men, they're getting inspired from our jobs. No. Behind a lot of men is a woman. Period. And a lot of men will jump when a woman they sleeping with or a woman they want, tell them, go do this through bearing false witness. A lot of women are in a situation because of other women. When you go digging and digging and digging and digging up behind the men, there's a woman there. There's a woman there. That's what happened in Egypt. There was toxic Egyptian queens talking in the Pharaoh's ear. There was toxic high priestess talking in their ear. This is why at some point the men said, well, we don't want women to be high priestess because they don't know how to stop running their mouth. They felt like they had to take over to eliminate the bearing false witness that was causing unnecessary wars and stuff. And that's just the truth. All the lying and the letters and all that type of stuff. If you look in the Gilded Age, you did not see a bunch of men sitting around talking about everybody. In the Gilded Age, even on the movie, even the series on Netflix, The Gilded Age, it is an exact, perfect representation of what I'm talking about. Constantly talking about people. It's all women doing it. And then what gets me also is with women to bear false witness on each other and then still try to be cool. As if a high vibrational woman is not going to sense that they did. Like, I'm going to just keep it real. I got 2 people on this channel who bear false witness on me. And they think I don't know. They think that I can't pick up their thoughts. They think I never did. So they think they can smile, they can send me an email, and we all cool. Like I can't sense that there's a frequency for bearing false witness. There's a frequency for every single thing you do, including every damn sin. And you there's a frequency for racism. You can sense it. There's a frequency for being a gold digger, money hungry. You can sense it. When you've been exposed to some of those things so much, you'll pick up the frequency even if the person hasn't revealed that they're in that energy. You'll still pick up the frequency. This is a frequency world, and some of y'all better start trusting what you're feeling with the frequencies. Trust it. If you know that you are not trying to hurt society, control, bully, beat down, or dominate, you know you're not in that energy, then when your intuition tells you somebody's frequency is doing a specific thing, you probably should believe it. I caught several family members bearing false witness on me, and I didn't have not one evidence. I had no evidence. You know what the only evidence I had was the raggedy frequency. And what happened? Years down the road, it came out. They were bearing false witness on me. I got a vision of a family member bearing false witness on me in the living room with their mother. I said, oh, okay, so they were talking about me? Wow. They smiled in my face and pretended like they weren't hating on me and shading me. And I'm looking at them like I literally saw them in a vision. And then what happens? It comes out. It comes out like some months later. And I'm like, I'll never ever doubt. Next time I feel or sense that someone's bearing false witness on me, I will never doubt it again. I'm glad I didn't doubt it that time. But I did waste some months helping this person while they were bearing false witness on me. Hi, everybody. I'm going to hit on out, y'all. I got something to do. But the heroin energy, as I said, now y'all see what I'm saying? All I did was go in the store to get beauty care product, and the same damn woman. I said, here she goes. Her trifling frequency. Clockwork. I almost ordered my stuff. I almost ordered it. I said, what is the point? when society, when people are gonna switch up. Passive aggressive energy out here. Showing up like they don't mean no harm and then switching right to negativity. That is covert narcissism, y'all. And it's in the feminine energy right now. And it's in any closet gay man too. They might be in our energy. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying that's what's going to be today. That's what it's going to be today, where you get blindsided. I got blindsided a couple of times. Well, not really. Kind of like this past week when someone just like flipped into a negative energy out of nowhere. I'm like, okay. And then when I pulled the oracle today, the hearing came out. I said, okay, so God is protecting my mental health right now because it's under attack. It's ridiculous. Hi, everybody. I got to get ready to go. Bye, Simone. I sometimes do controversial videos like this. If y'all don't like them, I don't know what to say. But I also put videos up that's a warning. Protect your energy if you're in the black community, y'all. If you're going to black-owned businesses or low vibrational stores or whatever in low vibrational areas, you might want to put your Bluetooth on today. I was looking for my Bluetooth and I was going to go get my Bluetooth first and Bluetooth the hell out of the whole environment after the hearing came out. And I said, okay, now I see when I went in here that I was better off having my Bluetooth on. Bye, everybody.